Hello, everybody. Welcome to twitch.tv/the Onyx Path, where we have returned today for a brand new episode of They Came from the Cyclops' Cave, Warriors of Legend. Some things have happened since the last time we were here. You may have noticed last week we had a rebroadcast so that you hopefully, if you missed while we initially aired our first two episodes, you're able to catch up. During that time, They Came from the Cyclops' Cave has been released over at DriveThruRPG. It is available right now
Wow.
in POD and PDF. So, by all means, run, don't walk. Go grab yourself a copy of They Came from the Cyclops' Cave. It is, in case you missed me saying it everywhere on the internet loudly, at the top of my lungs, it is my favorite role playing game. So I would love it if you went and got a copy and then said wonderful, nice things about it on the internet. That would be very, very awesome of you to do. Also, in They Came From releases, the following week, so They Came From the Cyclops Cave came out 2 weeks ago. This past week, They Came From Classified came out. So this too is a cinematic role-playing game, but instead of, in Cyclops' Cave, which we're playing today, where it's a fantasy film inspired game, They Came From Classified is spy movie and spy television inspired. So everything from Get Smart to James Bond, to Austin Powers, it all fits. And that is also available in POD and PDF over at DriveThruRPG. Now that the bills have been paid, I will go ahead and ask our lovely cast to introduce themselves, and we'll start things off with you, Millie. If you could, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would like to promote.
Sure. Awesome. Well, I'm Bunny Hearted and or Millie. My pronouns are she and her or they and them. I'm a ridiculous 90s anime villain bunny girl VTuber here playing a ridiculous retro villain. Semi-reformed, of course, in both senses here. And I don't know, I'm here to do cool magic at my enemies and I don't know, maybe cool magic at my friends too. We'll see how things go.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And I will pop a link to your channel in the chat here momentarily.
That's really sweet.
And
Thank you.
you're very welcome. Thank you. And whilst I'm doing that, if you could, CJ, please give us your pertinence.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ. That's CJ Starry on pretty much any socials. My pronouns are they, them, but I'm playing Alice, whose pronouns are she, her. And as far as cool things, what I do, I am marketing, community, and customer service for Rowan Rick and Deckard. And we've got a cool game coming out shortly that is called Hollows. And the quick start is available for free online now at rrdgames.com/hollows. And in addition to that, if you are somewhere where they do free RPG Day, keep an eye out for our free RPG Day version of Hollows because it went way too hard for a free version of anything. It's got spot gloss. So that's that's my shilling for the day. That's the exciting things going on in my professional life, and in my personal life the exciting things going on is we're gonna play They Came From Cyclops' Cave right now. So
Well,
yay.
I'm glad to hear that you are as excited as I am, and as hopefully Bunny is, and as hopefully all of our audience, whether live
Absolutely.
or in VODR. So just a
Yeah,
quick
I was really sad that we had to reschedule this. I'm glad we could do it so quickly. Thanks.
likewise, it broke my little heart into little pieces to have to miss a session, but
Aw.
we will persevere. We're going to catch up, and then you may have noticed we have a blank spot on the screen that is normally occupied by MK, who plays Hilda, the warrior princess. I have plans to backstage Hilda because MK isn't able to make it today. And then next session, we'll have MK and Millie, and then Alice will go off and hide. But I have plans on how to handle all that. Before we get into that,
Schemes
though,
on schemes.
I'm like a Russian nesting doll of schemes. That is the second Russian nesting doll reference that I've made, or that has been made on this channel in the past 12 hours.
We go for three. You know what? I think we can make it
I'm
happen.
sure we could probably squeeze another one in during the course of this game.
Yeah, in some kind of layers, maybe.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like ogres and onions.
Yeah, exactly.
So last time we met, the party had traveled across the mountains through the swamp. While in the swamp, they met with one of the, I guess you might say, what was it, childhood caretakers of Belladonna. Is that fair to say? An old friend of Belladonna's mom.
Sure. Caretaker could work.
Yes, this swamp
She was
hag
great.
who basically,
Auntie Yellow Teeth, right?
yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
And she basically said she was leaving. She's going to go try to hide because everything is screwed because your mom has teamed up with the Empty.
She's going to the shore, isn't she?
Yeah, she's
I
going
don't
to the
think
beach.
the shore is what you call it. That sounds really dramatic when you put it that way.
I mean, it is
Going
though.
to the
She is
beach.
going to the ocean shore. She's going to retire and try to enjoy. I believe, as she called it, the last days of her life. Uh,
Oh, it was a little
Yeah.
dramatic, to be fair.
yeah, she seemed confident that bad things were on the horizon. Once you got through the swamps, you made your way to the city of Preston, where you saw an audience with the Council of the Wise, the magic users and wizards and such,
Those dicks.
who sort of handle wizardly scholarship throughout the land, but also have their hands in a lot of political pies. You convince them to send out messenger pigeons to try to warn people of the spread of this cult and its influence, as well as to see if you can gather intelligence on any movements out there in the wilds. And then as you left the Council of the Wise, which also I do believe, if I remember correctly, Aelis's sister Alita was a member of.
Yep. Surprise, surprise.
Yes, you discovered much to your terror. And she, I believe, even argued against your point a little bit in the council, but was kind of shut down thanks to your social prowess and whatnot.
My impassioned speech.
Yes.
It's hard to resist an idiot with a mission.
However, once, speaking of idiots with a mission, once you got outside of the council, as you watched the messenger pigeons get sent off onto their mission, and you started to make your way towards the lodgings that you had acquired, your group was attacked by a villain, a fiend most foul, a man by the moniker of Ham-Fisted, who, alongside with his symbiotic pet Clarence, attacked your party. And despite deploying his porcine punch and his spray of slop upon you, you managed to defeat him. He was knocked prone and would have been helpless and unconscious had not Clarence fostered their escape by running away and dragging Ham-Fisted along with him. And that was pretty much where we parked. So I think at this point, Hilda is going to turn to the two of you and say, I'm going to chase that down and see what we can find out. See if you can... Something seems fishy about all this. See if you can figure out, how did they know we were here? I'm going to go see if I can ask them, but maybe looking around and investigating, or see if you can chase down Slitherus. Wherever you go, I'll track you down. I'll find you. And she takes off running after Ham-Fisted.
Sounds
Wow.
wise to me.
Even though she's old, she's still really cool. I hope I'm not cool when
Terrifyingly
I'm
so.
old. Yeah. Do you think I'll be that cool when I'm old?
I'm gonna take one hand and put it on your shoulder and look you square in the eyes and say, "Oh, maybe."
Thanks. That's the
You're
most
pretty cool
anyone's
now.
ever believed in me. Oh, thanks.
That's
Jeez.
the most anyone's ever. That's the most anyone's ever believed in you.
Well, I mean, you met my sister, right?
I did.
Let's go figure this out.
That sounds. I have something I need to take care of, though. Where should I meet you?
Well,
Crave
I
that
don't
horrid in.
know. Yeah, there. That sounds good.
Sounds good. I should only
Cool.
need a couple of hours. I can meet you there
Is
if you
it
want. I'll get takeout.
food? Yeah,
I would love takeout. Sounds good to me.
cool. I'll figure out food. I'll have it ready when you're back.
Oh, okay, amazing. I have a feeling I'll need it.
Excellent. So,
Does
Alis.
not worry about this, apparently. Just
You should.
like, that sounds great. I'll go get dinner.
Aw, you little gaybo.
Beautiful. So the party has now split. Alis begins making her way to the inn where you were staying, whereas Millie, where's Belladonna going?
Promise I will try to keep the party split very short. But Belladonna has an Aelis's sister named Alita to scream at and threaten.
Oh, beautiful! I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. How would you like to go about this screaming and threatening
Well,
session?
does she have like an office in the fancy Wizards Council chamber?
So the council's chamber is part political meeting place, certainly, but also part school and part dormitory. You know, it is a fully stocked, full-fledged wizard's keep. So there, she has personal quarters there. There's also like shared dining spaces. She may even be teaching a class at this point. So you can certainly hop in and try and track her down.
Yeah, I think let's do that.
All right.
Fully happy to interrupt class.
Sure. So you're just kind of walking around, like randomly poking your head in places, looking to see if you see her, kind of thing.
Yep.
All right.
Well, more stomping with heels and anger.
Okay. So you're not being quiet about this at all.
Not at all.
Excellent.
I don't think Belladonna has ever looked up the word stealth in the dictionary.
Well, what I would like you to do then, if you could, why don't you go ahead and just give me a integrity and cunning roll, please?
Sure. So I actually just bought out my integrity with experience. I'm a little bit more integrified.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, the one person in the party with subtlety just ran after a pork pun.
Okay, I haven't played this system in a while. I'm looking for 8s, right?
Yes, you are looking for 8s.
I've got 2 and a 10, I think counts for double.
10 counts for 2, yep.
So then I've got 3.
Excellent. So you're kind of walking around, making it very well known that you got a bone to pick with Alita. You're trying to find her. You poke your head in a couple classes and do not see her teaching. And as you come to one of the herbalism labs that they have there at the tower, like you walk in and sort of startle the teacher, who drops one of their reagents, like they were sprinkling in like a powdered wing of bat into this very delicate concoction. And as you like swing the door open, you startle them, they drop it, and it creates this.
Don't worry, I'm not invading.
Creates this flashbang.
You know what? I should have the dramatic armor on too. Hang on. There we go. That's better.
Excellent. So they drop the reagent. It creates sort of a brief flashbang. Despite that distraction, and sort of the like crowd walla of surprise that the students have, you do clock movement up the hallway out of the corner of your eye as you're standing there in the doorway, very clearly seeing that this is not the spot where Alis is. Or where Alita is.
For Alita, yeah.
Yeah. That movement you clock, you see some sort of a robed figure moving relatively quickly kind of across the adjoining hall.
Well, I mean, that's suspicious anyways. Let's go figure out what that's about. Continue stomping.
All right, so
She can write an angry letter if she needs to, but she's going to try to find her to yell at her in person.
So like you fling this door open, there's the bang, the professor kind of just looks over at you, sort of like wide-eyed with kind of soot all over their face, their hair kind of sticking up, as one would
Yeah.
imagine. And you, what is your exit when you clock that movement? Are you just gonna like close the door and back out and leave, or are you just
Oh, she'll
turning
do
and
a little
walking away?
pirouette, and we'll definitely say, "Don't worry, I'm not invading." And exit.
Beautiful. You say, "Don't worry, I'm not invading," and head down the hall. As you come up around the corner, you see that robed figure uh, preparing to turn down into a stairwell that will take them down. They're just a few feet away from it.
You turn around.
And they stop and slowly start to turn in your direction. As they get to like profile, you can see sort of the way the hood up is up on their cloak. You can see serpentine, scaly features kind of start to present
Oh,
itself in the in the profile, and they turn fully at you. And this is a snake person.
oh. My apologies. You're not who I thought you were. Um, but Belladonna Blightwood. Nice to see you.
Um, they lift their head back enough that it reveals, rather than just sort of this sort of jawline sticking out. They lift their head up a bit to reveal you recognize this face from your childhood. This is Slitherus.
Oh, never mind. I see we've met before.
And
And seeing you here.
I see you have aligned yourself with fools and do-gooders.
Runs in the family, sort of.
Yes, your mother will no doubt be gravely disappointed by the position that you've accepted here.
Well, if you hear from her, please let her know that the feeling is mutual.
Mm.
I haven't
So,
aligned with them. I just think you'd have a world to toy with. This is ridiculous.
mm, it is not my place nor desire to convert you.
Well, likewise, I'm not even here to yell at you. I'm here to yell at someone else for being rude.
I
Are you
see.
skulking these hallways? You happen to know where everyone is. We can help each other out here.
Oh, perhaps we can. Who is it you seek?
Hmm. I probably. You know what? She was very rude. Alita, do you know where she is?
He chuckles. Why?
Just tunnel vision. Objectives, sensibility. No, only yelling at the sister.
He says, "Why, pray tell, do you take umbrage with Alita?"
I just have to have a small and important conversation with her.
Why don't you make
I'm
a
serious. I'm not going to hurt her
Why don't you make an
physically.
empathy cunning roll? And I'm going to
Sure.
give you a complication of 1 because of your tunnel vision.
Bold of you to presume that I have much. I've got one empathy now, though. It's been like it's slowly. She's discovered what empathy is. Glad to
It
have cunning.
exists now.
See if you're here. I got one.
All right, so you can choose to um, effectively fail the roll completely by not um, resolving that complication. Which case
Okay.
you would gain a momentum, or you can accept a success but with the complication.
I'm happy to have a success with a complication.
Excellent. So you pick up on an emotional cue from Slitherus. This emotional cue, due to your complication not being resolved, may be a bit inaccurate, but you do notice a reaction at the discussion, at the mention of Alita's name. You're not sure if it's a reaction of hatred, a reaction of, could be adoration. Hard to know. Serpent people aren't the easiest to read in the first place, and their expression was very subtle, but you did sort of clock it.
Well, I take it you're no help then. Nice to see you, kind of, despite the circumstances and the murderous death cults and our inevitable looming confrontation. But like, I hope you've been well. Scales are looking nice.
Well, that's thank you. I've begun seeing a dermatologist. That is beside the point.
No, skincare is skincare is very important. Do not neglect skincare. Moisturize and, monarch eyes.
I am not neglecting my skincare. I just told you I'm seeing a dermatologist. That's not the point. The point is that I, again, have no desire to force you to work against your will, but why not abandon these people? Why not come home to your mother?
Well, because they're doing the right thing. And I still want a world to toy with after all of this. She seems to be done with it.
It's a shame. You have no vision.
Enemy of my enemy is kind of cute, actually.
I wish you luck on your hunt. I believe your quarry was headed to the whirlpools in the basement.
Well, I appreciate it. Sorry, someone I think subscribed, so dropped a gift on my head. Thank you very much.
I love it.
I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Hopefully I can tempt you to the side of ongoing skincare. Can't do that with the world's over. Okay, see you.
He turns and starts heading down the stairwell. Are you going to go down that same stairwell and have that sort of awkward, like, we already said goodbye, but now we're walking in the same direction?
100%,
yeah. He kind of like looks over.
Someone gifted a sub to you, CJ. That's what that was.
Oh.
So you get about halfway down the stairs, and he kind of looks over his shoulder a couple times and says, "This is super awkward. Sorry."
Yeah, I know it happens.
And he breaks away from you at the upon reaching the ground floor. You see he sort of hunches his head down to try to make the hood completely cover his face so that anybody who sees him won't recognize him as he makes his way out. You can continue down further into the pools if you so choose.
Sounds like a plan. I'm gonna try to make this quick. She doesn't want to keep Ayla's waiting for lunch or wait, is it maybe dinner time at this point?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
probably.
early.
Yeah, it's I don't know what the equivalent to lunch, dinner, brunch would be, but it is about that time.
Yeah, dinner could work.
So yeah, you make your way down into the sub basement where there are these sort of hot springs have been built into makeshift hot tubs, basically. And she is sitting in one of them by herself, her modesty protected only by the steam in the room as you enter.
Well, don't you look comfortable?
I feel comfortable. Belladonna, was it?
Mm-hmm. How does spellcasting work for turning the hot tub a little bit cold? Perhaps a little icy.
Sure, I would allow you to do that with a let's do mysticism, intellect.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Are you going to try to be subtle about the fact that you're deliberately causing this, or are you
Not at all? No.
Excellent. Then there's no
doesn't want to do any harm with it, but definitely wants to bring the
temperature down. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Oh gosh, this is the roll. I have 4. That's the roll of my life. What the heck? I need this later for combat.
You can control that temperature all the way down to literal freezing if you wanted to.
Let's freeze like part of it so that she can step out onto the ice on top of this hot tub and loom down towards her. So right. You're on thin ice. Don't look at me currently standing on ice. Listen, this world is dark enough and it's worsening. You know that it's worsening. This is coming from me here. You are lucky to have family and you will treat them better or you will be hearing from me again and this ice won't stop a couple of feet away from you. I'm watching you. Be kind or oblivion will be a nice fate. Goodbye. I'm so awkward at these. I don't know how to threaten people. It's been a long time.
Why
Anyways, you're in trouble.
don't why don't you go ahead and give me a command or persuasion, whichever you prefer.
Sure.
And let's do that with presence.
Definitely have a little bit of that. I'm trying to say words vaguely in tune with my stats. Persuasion and presence. Got manipulation. Presence though, no. Oh, I got one.
Excellent. And let's see how she does. Okay.
It's gonna be so awkward.
She raises an eyebrow at you and floats like upward up out of the pool, kind of arms out, palms up, floating in the air until she's eye to eye with you.
Uh-huh.
She says, "My dear, sweet, pathetic, and sad sister is likely to be impressed by the flash, the bluster,
Not really.
and the deeds of a geriatric who has no business holding a sword, let alone trying to swing one. I, on the other hand, find nothing oppressive about you."
Well, likewise. And I'm seeing you naked.
She says, "You know,
Anyways,
that
short
stings."
story long. I'm going. You're just cruel. That's supposed to be my vibe here. Get it together.
She floats backward and lands outside the pool, picks up her towel and starts drying her hair off. Standing unapologetically, not trying to, not trying to cover herself in any way. And
Definitely a little sad she hasn't had that much of an impact, but she also has no idea what she's doing. She's just angry.
she says, I certainly hope that you and your traveling companions have a safe journey and don't run into any complications with any of the locals.
Uh-huh. I highly doubt that.
One can hope. She wiggles her fingers and her robes kind of fly over and don themselves on her.
I have an amusing thought. I'll leave it to myself, though. Good luck with your, gonna look pointedly towards the shadows. Complications. See you.
She smirks and watches you leave.
Man, that lizard's stooping everybody. That's what she decided.
You're a little old for her.
I don't know.
You're sleeping with your mom.
He's a lizard. What is time?
Maybe he's immortal. Maybe he's an immortal lizard.
You never know.
Well done resisting temptation, Belladonna.
Well, this went great. We're gonna go back and get some liner.
I just wanna say I didn't do this on purpose. You brought this up, not me, but one of my aspirations, one of my short-term aspirations is have a nice dinner.
well, well, you may find one, though probably not at the inn you were staying at. And speaking of which, are you just beelining straight back to the inn? Or are you doing anything? Anywhere you're stopping on the way?
Just
anything?
heading straight back.
Okay. And how about for Aylis?
Aylis is gonna pick up dinner because Aylis said that she'd handle dinner. And as you said, you probably don't want to get it at the inn. So, are there anywhere is there anywhere like that's food cart type?
Oh, sure. Yeah. There are plenty of food vendors on the streets. There are also restaurants that you can have your food prepared and they'll throw it in a container for you. What sort of cuisine would you be seeking?
Well, I don't know what sort of cuisine exists, but something that maybe like A-list doesn't know for sure with Belladonna, but for sure something that like would be maybe harder to get somewhere else, somewhere that's like a local speciality or something like that.
Sure.
So just like this is the thing. We're here, let's do the thing sort of thing.
Sure, you
So
get a particular cut of meat that originates from basically a magical plant that one of the wizards locally has created. They're a vegetarian for moral reasons, but they love the taste of meat so much that they magically designed a flower that buds beef. Um,
sign me up. Um
Yeah, I'm curious.
it is called an improbable steak, and you are able to pick up two of them.
yep. Pick up two improbable steaks and some sort
Like
of
a nice
side.
improbable burger.
Well, got you like a nice improbable steak, and not just a nice like an improbable burger. It's like I'll get a steak and a burger, and she can have whichever one she wants, and I'll take the other one because they both look great. And I think when you get to the inn, you'll probably find A-list sitting like on a little bench or whatever in front of the inn with a couple of boxes of takeaway.
Excellent.
She waves.
Sorry, my mouth is full. One second.
Speaking of
I'm talking
takeaway,
about food.
you
It would be extra
you'll be able to-
hilarious if Belladonna walked up like actually eating something. Like, oh shit, forgot.
No, she's too invested in how these dorks see her at this point.
That's fair.
Yeah. Hi.
I found this stuff here that it's like meat, but it's not. Some wizard grew a meat plant.
Oh, a misant.
It's an improbable.
Sounds like. I'm curious how it tastes.
Well, I got a burger and I got a steak. Which one would you like?
I mean, which one would you like?
Both. I mean, either. Not both. I can't eat both of them. You can have one, but they both sound good.
Okay, but they both sound good to me too. I think we might be at an impasse here. Hmm.
What if I had
Right?
half a burger and you had half a burger, and
Oh,
I had half the steak and you had half the steak?
that sounds like a compromise. Count me in.
Cool. And we'll hand you, I guess, the steak and be like, so do we want to go sit somewhere or just like chill outside of the rat infested inn?
Oh, right. We should probably go. Do you want to just stay at another inn?
We could.
I don't know if there was any availability. I think everything was booked up, but maybe that's changed last
I think
night.
it was either the fancy one or this.
I mean, I anticipate it's going to be challenging for either of us to get a nice place to stay here, considering the city itself seems to be opposed to our existence. So,
yeah, I just
council.
honestly, all right. Let's go find somewhere nice to eat, and
Sounds
we'll
good.
we'll talk about it. While I want to make sure it stays hot. Maybe it stays hot the whole time. It's magic. I have no idea how this works.
Oh, that would be
Um,
clever. Hmm.
and I think Aylis is gonna like jump up and like kind of go look for like a nice grassy spot with a tree or something.
Sure. You walk out past the main town square, um, and a couple of blocks from where you're staying, you find what appears to be effectively a park. Looks like it's, you know, certainly large enough for you to, go find a tree to sit under where you're relatively isolated, and you can certainly see anyone approaching from any angle. And it's a nice, peaceful picnic spot, I suppose. It's the weather is clear and pleasantly warm. There's a slight breeze. So yeah, you go and have a seat and start enjoying your meal. Um,
Nom 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 nom.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying somewhere else if there is somewhere else, you know? Like Alis just starts chatting. It's like I just
Yeah,
kind of wanted to impress Hilda a little bit. Like she seemed fine with it, and so I wanted to be fine with it, but I'm pretty sure I got crawled on like at least 3 times last night.
I'm pretty sure the bed moved
Oh, oh,
across the floor. It
ooh.
was dragged by a small horde of rats. I don't want to say
Yeah,
anything, but it was definitely in a slightly altered position.
maybe there's somewhere
Oh,
in between open now. Oh,
maybe. Who knows? Well, so I ran into Slitherus, the cult leader.
Slitherus.
Yeah, he probably says hi. He
I
mostly just
doubt
like said that my
that.
mom would be really disappointed in me and like seemed to know a lot about you two. That was interesting.
Huh. I
Yeah.
don't know why he'd know anything about me, but I have to
Surprised to
say,
run into him. I wasn't even looking for him, but yeah.
it's probably like, I don't want to insult your family, but it's probably a good thing if they're
Maybe.
disappointed in you, right?
Probably.
I
At least at the
mean,
moment.
yeah, there's some weird stuff going on with your
I mean,
mom,
I
especially.
don't know. She used to be all about that little bit of hope, that little bit of fire burning in the darkness. That you got to have the darkness there, but there's still stuff, and I want to know what's happened to change that.
Well,
Surprised how much Slitherus seems to be on board with the whole thing, despite having a skincare routine.
here's a never mind.
Of course
Uh,
he does.
so
Villains need good skincare.
so do you think he's on your mom's side still, or do you think he just said that?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I have no idea why he was here. He was skulking around the grounds of the council, like in the academy,
Why was he?
robe on and everything.
Do you think there are
I thought he was
people
someone else.
working? Do you think there are people there working with him? I mean, it would make sense. People want to get their hands on, you know, whatever way the wind's blowing, right? So
Hmm.
somebody's probably working with him, or maybe he's trying to turn them toward his cause.
Oh, quite possibly. Yeah. Maybe he's already had some success, and that's why the council was even more obnoxious than usual. Ugh. I'm sorry about your sister, by the way.
Oh,
You deserve
well,
better than that.
I mean, it's just us, and haven't always been easy to. I've kind of, I could be a little bit of a disappointment. So it's okay. I understand why she's the way she is.
as you're discussing this, I would like each of you to roll a mysticism cunning roll for me, please.
Lovely.
Sure.
Do you know what I
Okay,
don't
from
have
one.
a lot of?
Hey, I got
Either
those
of those
covered.
things. No,
Though, from one disappointment to another, it's not always a bad thing. Oh my
maybe not.
gosh, what are my rolls today? I have 2 10s, an 8, and a 9, so I think I have 6 on mysticism and cunning. Attempting to intimidate someone, nothing. Attempting to learn anything, nothing. Being spooky, there we go.
Yep.
Excellent.
8. I have an 8.
Excellent.
So,
Woo!
and that's on my singular die, so I guess I'm doing all right.
Congratulations. You get like hair standing up in the back of your neck, kind of like somebody's watching us kind of feeling for a moment. With 6 successes, this is a amazing success. So Belladonna, you clock that you feel like you're being watched, and as you do, you sort of instinctively mutter an incantation. A wave of invisible energy permeates forth from you and gets about 10 feet away and reveals to you the outline of what seems to be a floating invisible orb that looks like it's watching you.
Sorry, one second, Ayla is gonna walk up towards it and just try to grab it.
Excellent.
Never mind. I have the little like, oh no, the stream is disconnected face.
Oh no.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
Oh, no, we're back.
I
We're
don't know
here.
why we have so many
Oh,
problems on
are we
Fridays.
returned?
Good Lord.
I do too, to be honest. I got like weird ISP stuff on Fridays.
So the real issue is that on Thursdays I play Alessandra and the technology thing just hasn't worn off yet.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah.
So,
I have a question. I can't see this orb, right? So I'm presently watching Belladonna try to fight with something, nothing.
no, so
Right.
like what you witness is Belladonna whisper something. This almost force, you kind of feel the force wave go out from Belladonna in all directions. And you absolutely as well see when it hits, like it just creates almost like a prism sort of effect where that orb is. So you can see it once Belladonna gets up and tries to grab it.
Right. And I miss any kind of trying to grab stuff.
Oh,
Is this
yes.
close combat?
So yeah, it'd be close combat and probably dexterity, but I'm willing to hear other options. Let me just-
I mean, it's probably close combat and dexterity. Yeah, she's just trying to grab it. Fully convinced she can do anything. So we'll try on that one.
sure.
So no close combat, 3 dexterity. I have 3 successes. I have a 10, a 9, and a 4. This
Oh,
online
okay.
dice roller is like on my team today.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
For now, we'll see.
So 3 successes total, you said?
Mhm.
Yeah, you absolutely actually get your hands on it. And when you do, you can feel the connection. You can feel the presence of the person who cast this spell. And it feels like a familiar presence. It feels like a presence you were just around not long ago. This has a. It reminds you of Alita.
Ah, that's the surprising one. Aw, you spying on us? You spying on your sister? Aw, who's a nervous Nelly? Pat pat.
The eye collapses upon itself.
Cringe
like-
stuff.
Felt like someone was watching us. What's going on?
I think your sister was spying on us.
Oh, of course. Well, I hope she's jealous of the improbable burger and just takes a bite
You know,
of
she
it.
should be. A
Yeah.
lot she should be jealous of, to be honest. Ugh.
Well, I mean, they probably get fed all right there, but it's still a really good burger. And it's a nice day outside.
Mhm.
Oh, I almost ate. Here, there's half left, mostly, and kind of slides it.
Did you cut it, or has Ayla just bit half of it?
Look, CJ would like to imagine that she cut it, but she didn't. She just ate half of it.
We're a
Just
pair
ate
of
half of it
goobers.
and slid it and went, oh, and slid the rest to
I
it.
think Bella will take some time before eating it, sort of like conceptualizing, like, okay, but she bit this. Is that? It's different because it's like her lips were. It's complicated now.
Are you ready for the steak?
Yeah, she definitely cut it with precision at exactly half.
Excellent.
I'll leave you a bite since I ate more than half of the burger. And you just start shoveling
No, it's
away.
okay. Take it.
Oh, you sure?
Can you think of any reasons why your sister would be spying on us?
Well, I mean, it's been a little while since we saw each other. Maybe she's just wondering what we're up to.
So it probably is my fault then. Okay, noted.
I mean, she thought that. Wait, what? No, wait. Let me finish my thought, or it'll go
Okay.
forever. She definitely thought that like our whole quest was stupid. But
Probably didn't help. I might have just gone to talk with her.
to try and convince her that it
To
wasn't
be
stupid?
nicer to you. Yeah, she's an asshole.
Oh, well, if there's one thing I know about Alina, it's anytime you ask her or tell her to do anything, she just digs her heels in. But
Sort of lifted them off the ground, actually. It was very silly.
oh, it's pretty dramatic.
Yeah,
That's
I thought I was the
okay.
dramatic one.
It was nice of you to try. Um,
Yeah,
I think she loves me
she
deep
did. She did
down.
definitely like, specifically threaten us when I left. So there was that too.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Yeah, it seemed to imply there'd be like some obstacles in our way in the town or in our adventure that she knew about and was possibly connected to. I don't know.
You don't think she's connected to Slytherin?
I mean, maybe like we're kind of awkwardly going down the stairs at the same time down to the basement. Slytherin might have been looming ominously in the shadows. Bella's not going to say the part out loud where she's like, and I think they're kissing, but she's thinking that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Maybe it's all just speculation.
Could be.
Maybe.
Maybe she's been spying me the whole time and I only just noticed now. That's also very possible. But she did seem surprised when I showed up in the hot tub. So, eh.
Hot tub. What?
Oh yeah, there's hot tubs in the academy.
Oh, they probably have really nice improbable burgers.
Probably.
Well, that's
I don't
fine.
want to rob them. Well, that's a future problem.
Ayla slaps
I
it.
could use a hot tub.
Oh, what
I
are we
don't
gonna
have that
do
much
with
of a
it?
layer. My layer could have a little hot tub in it.
Where would we put it?
Well, figure out a better layer with a hot tub space. And a nice hill with a
So,
view. Oh, by the ocean, maybe.
do you
Sea
have
breeze.
do you have a layer, or is this aspirational?
It's just mostly aspirational.
Well, I support you.
Appreciate it.
Maybe I'll help you heist a hot tub someday.
Thank you. Looks genuinely really pleased.
Kind of like nudges you with her elbow, and that like kind of is like
Yeah.
maybe she's just bored.
I don't know. That's not trivial stuff.
No, it's not. I guess I'm just hoping. But hey, if we can get through to your mom.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I guess we should keep looking around. I probably should have attempted to uh somehow, contain Slytherin. I was a bit focused. That would have been a good idea. Learn more
Oh,
about the world ending cult stuff. We just sort of were rude to each other and then awkwardly going the same. I should have brought you with me to yell at your sister, but that felt like it would be awkward to,
no. I
not
could
my
have
day
yelled at
today.
Slytherin and you could have yelled anyway, but
Oh,
here's the thing.
teamwork. Oh, you know what? You're right. I have been learning about teamwork. I should have taken that to heart.
It's okay because right now, if we had confronted Slytherin there, it might have been a fight we weren't prepared for because we don't know how
Extremely
many
likely.
people
Yes.
there support him.
Mhm.
So you did the right thing, and
Uh-huh.
and as we are no longer being spied on by my sister, I can still have plausible deniability, which means that I'm basically a sitting duck, which sounds terrible, but maybe the right people will come along and you're ready for them. We're both ready for them. And we should probably tell Hilda when she gets back.
We should probably tell Hilda when she gets back. Yeah.
That's fair. You complete your meals. No further sign of any interruptions or distractions or dangers. What would you like to do once you have finished consuming your improbable meals?
We should probably find a better place to stay and then also maybe figure out just how deep the cult's fingers have dug their way into this city.
Yeah, I mean, anything that we can find out about. Well, we know where Slytherin is, so there's that.
We don't know if he's staying there or not. Could be
True.
across us in the hallway. You know what? Maybe the rats are a snag.
Maybe he's also spying on us, but that feels like a really big waste of time.
I do feel like he'd be better at it.
Well,
Yeah. Hey, if you're
You,
spying on us, like, good job.
you're
Props to you, but also stop. That's rude, but like props, you know?
in her defense. She's pretty good at magic, but you're also pretty darn good at magic. So maybe you just out magicked her.
I'll take it. But I mean, I think I also just kind of got lucky.
Maybe. Um. So more info about this cult. We know where Slithers was, so we know he's here. So we know that someone is probably either working with him or he's trying to get someone to work with him. Can't remember if there was anything else we needed to do other than get a different hotel.
That does seem nice. I think Hilda just wanted us to see what more we could learn.
She probably just wanted us to not follow her so she didn't feel like she had to protect us while she was actually doing the
Probably.
thing. But I hope someday that she doesn't feel that way about us all of the time.
Eh, I kind of get it though, right? I mean, depending on the circumstance, I'd probably do the same.
And she's our elder, so, And she is Hilda Warrior Princess.
Right. Ridiculous. I'm a it's very interesting growing up on stories of how terrible and plans dashing someone is to meet them and they're like, yeah, I'd stay at a rat hotel and I'm grandmother.
Yeah, that's a
Definitely
good way to
different.
describe her, actually. Although I would say that, well, I shouldn't say that. Well, now I have to. I thought seeing her in her old armor would be weird, but it's not. She looks good for her age, is what I'm saying. That was a little weird. Let's pretend I didn't say that. Can we go?
We can go.
um,
Had you left any of your possessions at the rat cellar?
I don't think so.
All right.
Alice doesn't have that many anyway, so it's probably,
Same.
sack of belongings, sort
All
of.
right. Everything on your person. All right.
Yeah, for now,
You make your
until Belladonna gets that layer and we heist a hot tub.
right. Right.
Mm.
That's a future problem. For now, you gather the belongings that you're carrying with you, and make your way to the nicer inn in town. You're able to acquire lodging. Are you going to get how many rooms are you going to grab up?
I mean, if there's so the thing is, we're willing to spring for better lodging, but if there's a room that has 3 beds in it, we'd still probably go with that instead of
Hmm.
buying 3 separate rooms.
Sure. The innkeeper is like, well, we've got singles, we have doubles, and we have a suite. So if you wanted to do a double and a single, you could do that. Or if you want to do a suite, there'd be each room on the suite is double bedded.
What's the price difference?
Single rooms are 3 gold, double rooms are 4 gold, the suite is 6 gold.
Well,
Trying to remember how much gold we have.
if we all got singles, that would be 9. So that's out. And if we got doubles, a double and a single, that's also 9, I think. 3. So that's out. That means the suite's the cheapest.
Right.
I think so.
You you reach into your pouch and are able to withdraw enough coin to cover the costs, and you still have some jingling and jangling about, so not a deal breaker. They explain to you that meal times are 7, noon, and 6. Meals are covered in your stay. Enjoy.
Wow.
Here's your key.
Thank you.
I'm sure that we will. Thank you, kind tavern person.
Of course. The rooms are upstairs. The suites are on the 3rd floor.
So thank you, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think it might actually be like we got real keys, so we might even be able to leave our stuff here.
You.
Do you
Cool.
do you head straight up to the room, or is there other things you'd like to do first?
We probably do that thing that you do when you check into a hotel where you like go up to drop your stuff off and like figure out where you're going next. We don't
Mhm.
necessarily need to play out going up to the hotel room to drop your stuff off, but I
Sure.
think that's
Yeah,
probably a
unless
thing that
kerfuffles happen. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you get up there, you drop your things off. The room is well appointed. It's nice. Looks like it'll be fairly comfortable. It's basically a room on either side, and then there's a central, common area. And those are all behind the central suite door. Once you've familiarized yourself with the place and dropped off your belongings, what's next on your agenda?
I think we need to do some snooping.
I think we need to do
Um,
some snooping too.
because my ADHD is almost as bad as Aylis's. Travis, can you remind us if there's anything we're missing that we're meant to be achieving?
Um, no, the only thing that Hilda had said kind of when she started off was to, see what you could find out about, you know, local involvement from the cults, see if there's anything weird going on. And she said if you wanted to start tracking down Slitherus or any of the other cultists, that she would meet up with you.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I thought so, but I didn't want to be like, oh, that plot point you've thrown us. Ah, we're gonna eat some
No,
burgers.
nothing.
So
By all means, I'm loving this. Yeah, please continue.
beautiful. All right, yeah. So Aylis is just like also chat is just thank you, chat. We've got to keep some of it back. Don't worry.
Smooch snooping.
Yeah, I believe a ship has
I'm very
been.
cleverly disguised. Beans over there in Twitch chat saying I'm cleverly disguised. Yeah, you never know that I'm a bunny.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So
I believe
yeah.
there's a ship that's being built and sailed in the chat, but
Understandable.
Yeah, it's been happening. When the burger was apparently the selling anyway. I think that the next thing that they'll probably do is try to do some like snooping around. So I think Alice is going to be like, all right, so taverns are a good place to get information, but depending on the time, shops might also be. Is there anything that we need to pick up? We can just have a nice chat with someone, or we could go to a tavern and have a drink and try to be social with people.
Good try. Um, how do we just go? Hello, tavern patron. Sorry, we're role playing this now.
Wait, hold on.
Have you
Hello,
seen
welcome to the
anyone
tavern.
lose the color in their skin here?
Well, that sure is a mighty strange question to ask someone off the bat.
And their
Welcome.
clothing?
Would you like a drink? Is this how this is gonna go?
I don't
try.
know. I don't know.
talk
Maybe
I'll
we should
talk
put
to
on a
someone.
robe or something.
Oh yeah, are you
Maybe I
still
think
in your?
Wait, maybe that'll work. If I put the robe on, I can be all like, "Hello, I am a lost cultist looking for more cultists."
Wait, we should bring the rope just in case. Here, I'll
You're
and
right.
I think if they're still in the room, Aylis just upends uh her pack onto like the sofa, not even a bed, like the sitting area, just and it's like, all right, put it in here.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
shove the dramatic cloak in there.
Like throws it. All right, now we have the disguise if we need it.
Okay. I should
you
point
see
out that I
another
basically
cultist-
only otherwise have shimmering golden armor.
That's it.
I don't have that many changes of clothes.
You have
Cleans
shimmering
itself.
golden armor and a cultist robe. We
Or
need
like
to get you
pajamas.
we need to get you a new outfit.
Yeah,
We
it
should
could
go
do.
shopping. Let's go shopping.
Okay, we gotta go
Come on.
snooping first. Shopping to celebrate the
Both
snooping.
No, both at the same time because shop owners
Snopping?
hear shop owners hear things. We're not gonna get something totally out. I don't have that much money, but like just something subtle, like this. I have no idea what Alis is wearing, and I've just been forced to think about it for the first time. I think I might have described just sort of plain, like, yes, full Kiro kind of clothes, which is probably about the
Yeah,
vibe.
you probably have like some kind of light leather armor, maybe, and like you gotta have bucklers or like those arm
Yeah, the
things, like
arm
sword
bands.
bucklers,
Yeah.
bracers. That was the word.
I'm like, I
Yes.
think I'm like a slightly more clothed Xena, maybe.
Yeah, sounds good.
Or oh, my brain's just completely blanked.
Gabrielle?
Or Gabrielle. Yep. Like
Mm.
a slightly more clothed Gabrielle. Like slightly less leather, but still some leather.
I mean, I think she was mostly in like a skirt.
Early,
Didn't she
Then.
have
early,
like
early
that?
Gabrielle was very, very
Oh,
modest, and
yeah.
then
Early
later,
Gabrielle, and then yeah,
Yeah.
some changes.
I'm remembering like wasn't it like a brown leather corset or something?
yeah, which sounds like
I think so.
later in the
Yeah.
series, but yes.
Yep. So early Gabrielle. All right. Established that for no reason whatsoever.
It's important
Let's get-
information.
I think so too. Yeah.
Let's get you into some vaguely neutrally magey clothes. Let's go.
All right.
Sounds good.
So what we've got is you're going to be going shopping for some clothes and checking out some of the local taverns to try to gather some information.
I mean, if there are cultists here, and in particular a snake cultist, they have to be staying somewhere. I'm sure someone has seen them.
Sure, absolutely.
And maybe they also needed clothes.
So
You
throughout
know,
this,
you
what
know.
we'll do is we'll sort of zoom out and deal with this just as a investigative, like a procedural scene, basically. So what I would like each one of you to do is choose which skill and attribute combo you would like to lean on during the course of this investigation. Let me know what those are. If I'm cool with them, then we'll have you roll and we'll compile that into clue results for you.
Okay.
I think. Could I do an empathy presence?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's basically
Sounds
trying
like
to like have charisma about it, but also like get in tune with the people that she's talking to and connect with them.
Yeah, I'll allow that. Absolutely. How about for Belladonna?
Would really love to have presence and a lot of empathy, but I think that this feels like an important thing, and I think Belladonna might lean back on some more natural skill set and fully try to manipulate people into letting information slip.
All right.
It's maybe some manipulation and empathy, which she technically has one dot of now.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and give me empathy manipulation.
It's been a moment, so I'd love to ask. Apologies for having a sieve of a brain. What do I do with a trademark? Because I have a empathy skill trademark called "A Stranger Is Just a Friend I Haven't Met Yet," which I feel like.
Sure. So when you use a trademark, you get 2 bonus dice. And if you get five or more successes, I do believe, you are able to take directorial control.
Oh, fancy.
Exciting. I have hope. Let's do this.
All right.
All right.
Let's see how it goes.
I'm tempted to maybe see if I can slide a trademark in here too, because I never used one of them.
Yeah. Do you have anything that you might feel is
Sorry, I
pertinent?
dropped.
Just to
think
FYI,
that,
you can only use each trademark once per session, but that's just so you're aware.
Yeah. Okay. I don't
That'll be
know
all right.
that I would have more cause to use this one outside of this. But I have let me prove how committed I am for like pulling others closer with manipulation.
Oh, beautiful. Okay.
Nice.
And I feel like that's kind of on theme because she's trying to present herself as committed to, Ayla's and this party and this cause, but also maybe feeling legitimately committed to it. And trying to learn how to people.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, in that case, you may also add the 2 additional dice, and let's see where we go with it.
All right.
Oh.
Rolling.
Oh no, we've got to hydrate. I only have Coke. I'm sorry, Chad.
Thanks, Bagger Street.
Done. I have Gatorade Propel. Apparently, I wanted electrolytes. I've had it.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, I got a couple tens. They count as double, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm the worst at keeping track of that.
Oh, that's okay.
And I've got a total of 2.
I was just playing World Below last night, so I was running Ultra, which is hard to like. I mean, it's close enough to write to they came from that I have to stop and think. Like, wait,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think of the complaints I can have, the I play too many story path games is probably not the worst complaint.
Valid.
Okay, actually, despite all of the rolling, the number of dice I rolled, I can't say I only got 4, but in comparison to what I rolled, I only got 4.
All right, so we have a total of 6 successes generated by this investigation. We have a montage scene of you all going to various shops, various inns, sitting down, talking with people. If there were 2 snippets of Aelis's dialogue that showed up in this montage, what would they be? Perhaps 2 of the questions you've asked, or 2 things you might have said in response to somebody. Just little bits. Kind of, there's a montage going with music, but we pepper in a little dialogue here and there. So, what would be the 2 bits that Aelis would say during this monologue, or during this during this montage?
I think like there's sort of a lot of I feel like more I mean there will be at least 1 or 2 things they say, but most of what they're saying is, or most of what you would see if you were watching this as a montage is like them is that like cheery, like someone's like holds up a shirt and they're like and it's that sort of
100%.
and the walking up to a food cart and like munching on a sweet and being like, so you don't actually it's not visual where you're just seeing them chat everyone up and like and everyone's like, oh, we're having so much fun is what you're seeing on the A-list side of things. And though I'm tempted to throw in an actual quip, that feels a bit cheeky, so I think it's just...
Well, if there's ever a time to be cheeky, it is when you're playing They Came from the Cyclops' Cave. So if you have a quip you want to toss in, now's the time to do it.
So the way I'm like picturing this is that most of these interactions that Alyssa has had have been like really up and happy and like, oh, have you seen anyone come in, that kind of thing. And but then there's one person who's like really kind of uncertain and a bit maybe even afraid.
Okay.
And Alice is trying to like more gently coax some information out of them, like, what have you seen, like what's wrong. And when this person finally gives them like a little bit of information or whatever, they she misgendering my own character, she puts her hand on like this, either this person's hand or their shoulder or whatever is like easily, and she goes, thank you for telling me, don't worry, you're not alone. And that's my legendary quip.
Excellent. In that case, then,
Fancy.
I'm just double checking to see how the legendary quip changes things.
There's that one sort of vibe dip there, right?
Sure.
But everything else is like, hee. What a great time I'm having in this montage.
I love it. So you can also, during this interrogation or at the end of it, since you're working in your legendary quip, you can choose to play a cinematic without expending the rewrite cost. So if you want to look through the list of cinematics in the book, decide if there's anything you want to do. There's an easy reference list of the cinematics on page 248.
Awesome. I'll have a look while we see the other side of the montage.
Yes. What does Belladonna's side of the montage look like?
Okay. If we're doing 2 lines, I think one of them is like, okay, I mean, I know you like it, but I just don't think pink is my color. And then probably Okay, but like, remember the scales, shiny, great skincare. You'd better have great skincare. If it's the wrong snake person, then you'll have to find another dress that fits me, that feels like punishment.
Excellent. I love it, and I think they're both of our clips were indicative of the characters involved. So we've got a total of 6 successes worth of information that is available to y'all. And have you discovered what cinematic you'd like to play during the montage or at the end of the montage?
I think I think one that's potentially particularly useful in this situation is common bond, which is you reveal a personal anecdote endearing you to the nearby people.
Excellent. And that allows you to okay, this will allow you to use persuasion plus manipulation,
Interesting.
or persuasion plus presence. I would allow that too.
Okay, because my manipulation isn't great, but my persuasion's all right.
Yeah, go ahead and roll that, and for each success that you get on that roll, one of the townsfolk, their attitude will improve by 2 shifts to you.
Ooh. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Not that one. There we go. Okay, we've got a 10, 9, a 9. Okay. That's 5.
All right, excellent. So because you got 5 on it, because this entire thing, we do have the trademark in play. I am going to give you directorial control as well. But that also, the direct result of the 5 successes is the entire, like the townspeople, their attitude has shifted towards your group 2 levels to the positive. So they are generally going to be helpful and friendly to your group whenever they see you.
Excellent. That was pretty much my main goal, is just to kind of get the popular vote.
you have done so.
Yeah.
Now, with directorial control, you can introduce a plot element that hasn't been introduced yet. You can draw something from the scene that has not been established. You can create a fact that wasn't already there. You can summon a particular adversary if you wanted to as a result of your directorial control. How would you like to use that power in this investigative scene? Again, you have 6 successes worth of clues that you'll be getting when it's all said and done, but how would you like to use your directorial control?
I think that if you're comfortable with this, I'm gonna throw a new NPC at you.
Sure.
I think there is someone who has noticed that certain goings on in the town and is uncomfortable with it. Maybe they're a business owner or just young person, and they have a small group of trusted people that they can get information from, and it's sort of like an underground, not necessarily a resistance, but like an underground, like, okay, well, we have to stay on top of this so that we can stay safe and our businesses stay safe and that kind of thing. And maybe we butt up against this person.
Sure. Do you see this person as a potential roadblock or as an ally?
Personally, I see them probably as an ally, if they're against what, because I'm imagining them as the antithesis to this politicking and stuff going on in
Okay.
so kind of maybe they're also someone who's just uncomfortable with how political, the guilt is and things like that as well. So
Sure.
that's kind of how I imagine this person. That doesn't mean they're necessarily 100% open and friendly toward us, but I think our goals probably align somewhat.
Okay. So for starters, then to resolve all that, first thing we have is we have our 6 clues worth of investigation information. What you discover from those, I'm going to give you 2 core clues, and then you can spend the rest of your investigation clues to use them to ask questions to get answers, to interpret an existing piece of information so that basically you get more data about one of the existing clues, like a secondary connected piece of info, or a delayed information clue, which you would write that down, and the like a basic phrase about the delayed information, and then the value of how many points is getting spent on that. Make sense?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
So the 2 core clues that you get are that there have been or had been about a week prior to your arrival in town a noted uptick in people that were sort of rocking the cultist vibe, moving in and out of town. It seems to have straggled off in the last couple of days. Nobody spotted them in the last couple of days, but there was some suspicious amount of cult activity in town. The second core clue is that there absolutely was a serpent person that has been spotted throughout town by various folks. And as far as you know, they've actually acquired, whether it be a rental or purchase, a cottage that is just outside of town. So that leaves you with 4 clues you can use at this point for interpretation, question and answer, or delayed information.
So I guess what we've got so far, Bella, is that he moved in.
Huh.
Wait, so something's happening here then? Oh,
I guess maybe they're planning to do what they've done to some villages to this city.
no, I hope not. I think we need to find out if the mages are working with him or supporting this, or if some of them are. I don't even know who to ask about that. I can't ask Elita because she would laugh at me.
Well, you do have these 4 clues still floating, so you
Yeah.
can expend those to
I think we'll sort of snoop, do some
I
snooping.
think spending like maybe at least one of them to think about like where in town the cultists have been spotted.
Sure.
It's
Okay.
like key locations.
So the key locations where the cultists were spotted. They apparently stayed at the rat cellar while they were in town. They were spotted in the town square at one point. They were spotted at or at least on the road headed toward that out of town cottage that was acquired by the serpent person. And they were spotted at the riverbank. There is a area at the river's bank where people will often sit to lounge, perhaps enjoy a meal, and feed the various birds that sort of hang out there. They were spotted there as well, and at that meeting, there was another figure. No, the person that you get the information from can't describe them much, but they absolutely were wearing robes of the Council of Wise.
Huh.
So
Does sound like there's some connection to the council then.
yeah,
So that's one of your remaining clues expended. You have 3 left.
I don't know if this is too direct, but I think something that I think, given the fact that they were given some support, but also given the fact that he was there in the council, I think that Alice is wondering something along the lines of, does everyone in the council know? Like, is this a is this a the whole council is against us, or is it so I'm trying to think of what's maybe a little more derivative from that we could try to be finding out.
Sure.
That's a big one.
I guess one way to maybe phrase that, I could, if you wanted to expend one of your clues on like interpretation, I would say that you, based on the fact that it was a single person from the council at that meeting, and that they seemed to be moving like they were a little bit like in arriving and leaving, seemed to be moving like they were a little bit stealthy, a little bit in the shadows, a little bit trying to avoid notice. Your assumption is that either they were acting in a rogue fashion, or for some reason they were frightened of the populace knowing that the mages were involved with this. Now, based on your knowledge of the council, particularly on Belladonna's knowledge of the council, that seems a little bit. That seems like a little far fetched for the council, because many of them don't give a rat's ass what the commoners think.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like they wouldn't be particularly compelled to hide their dealings, because what are you going to do about it? Is kind of their vibe.
So we can presume that folks that are working with him are doing so in some level of secrecy. That's interesting. That's two of our.
Yep. So you have two left.
Two left. Hmm. This is frustrating, because I, CJ, am like very clearly the person that he's working with is Alita.
I mean,
but Alice is like, we should find out if it's my sister. Don't.
I mean, we totally could, yeah. How does the future clue stuff work?
So the way that would work is you would write down the nature of the clue and the successes. So in this case, it could be cultist investigation, and then you would write down 2. And those successes then provide a, by the gods, great Scott, eureka moment later.
Okay.
Where you convert them into raw information, interpretation, or question and answer clues.
All right.
Sort of that moment where it's like, I feel there's something else important we've learned here, but it's not quite making sense yet.
Right.
I think that's probably a good shout. Instead of spending it all right off the bat, if we save the last 2 back and just we're supposed to dedicate them to something specifically now, right?
Or yeah. So now you would just dedicate them to cultist investigation.
Okay.
So then later, if you're in another scene that involves the cult, which chances are good, several will, you could, be like, can I pull on that information to get some insight into what's going on here?
Great.
And then spend the requisite number until you run out.
Are you comfortable with that, Bunny? Do we want to save these last 2?
Cool. I've in fact already typed cultist investigation to clue save into our little secret side chat.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
And then lastly, with the directorial control, you find throughout your investigations, you are introduced to a man by the name of Duncan. Duncan is the head of the Tradesmen's Association. They are kind of a nascent union, and they were formed kind of informally at various pub gatherings and group public discussions about how the laboring folk of the city feel about the council and the way that they govern, and trying to sort of provide a community mutual aid sort of front to resist any of the council's more careless policies and or incidents.
A sort of les amis de la union.
Sort of like that, yeah.
Yeah.
kind of, sort of. And Duncan absolutely has very little idea about what you're talking about, but says that you're more than welcome to join them. They're going to be having a meeting this evening, in fact. You're welcome to come sit in and talk with the folks there if that's what you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great. I
that
mean,
sounds nice.
we might be able to learn something, and if we don't, at least we get to know some people. Thank you. That's really kind.
Of course. Yeah, it's I'm happy to help. It sounds like you have a serious situation that you're looking into, so anything that I can do to be of assistance, just let me know. If you need any blacksmithing, it is my
We
trade.
might. Thanks. Yeah, we might. We've got another person with us normally. And she swings a big sword, so I think it's a sword. I don't remember.
It's a big
CJ
sword.
doesn't remember. Okay.
Yeah.
Alice is dumb, but she's not that dumb. She does remember what weapon Hilda has.
That is fair. Well, with that then, is there anything else that you'd like to do before this meeting rolls up in the evening?
Get Belladonna changed into her new outfit so that she doesn't rock up in evil armor and or evil cultists. I mean, the armor's not
very
evil
much letting
inherently.
Ayla take the lead on what this outfit should look like, because she has basically no idea on how to wear anything that's not particularly dramatic and villainous looking, like, a black dress or armor or like the energies of darkness. So for wearing regular clothes, this is really Ayla's call for what she looks like, I think.
So I think that Alice has not taken dramatics away from you entirely. You're a mage. Yeah, you dress a little magicy. It's fine. It's if you have loose sleeves, that's not going to get caught while you're hitting something. So I think Alice helped you find maybe like how is Belladonna a dresses person?
Sure.
Okay, like maybe like a dress with probably knee length or so, give or take, with one of those dresses with the sort of longer, like wider sleeves and the attached hood. And it's in
nice.
it's in like a purple, and it's not a bright purple. It's like kind of a dark purple, so it's tangent to, you could still go evil with it if you really wanted to.
It could be like a little villainous, but it's not that villainous.
But instead of doing a full like floor length dress, which can get in the way if you have to run, there's been practicality thought of here as well. So the dress part itself ends maybe about under the knees, and there's a pair of sort of like leggings underneath.
Ugh, yeah. Weird words.
Yeah. Practical. Say it with me. So
gotta practice it.
Yeah, and so during that like montage, it was very much like, yeah, but what if you have to run away? No. Do you have that in that color but shorter? But we have to protect the modesty. So
I'm picturing this conversation being between like you and a shopkeep in the background. Belladonna's just like, I would never flee. Modesty. What is
that? Except maybe not in the background, maybe like standing on, because you figure it's like a tailor's shop, right? Yeah. So like you're standing on the platform surrounded by mirrors with like a measuring tape like hanging off of one arm. You're like, I would not flee.
Of course not. Of course not. Just in case. And so like whatever your normal shoes are, made sure it goes with the shoes, that kind of thing. But this is just sort of like a dressed down less, but it's probably also a little like in certain areas maybe the thread that they've used is a little bit shimmery. So it's
fancy.
It's got some, it's not like top, they had to keep their budget, but it's got a little bit of flair because it's Belladonna. Like you can't put Belladonna in like
a little bit of flair.
Like brown.
I think she'll be pretty happy with it, and trying not to look like she's really happy with it. Maybe do a little spinny a couple of times.
Nice.
It's probably got some nice flow to it with that length, right? So if you ever do have to run away, it will look very dramatic.
Wait, I can swap this out here. There we go. More
Nice.
casual clothes.
Beautiful. And as you get yourselves gathered and together and ready for this meeting of the Tradesmen's Association, that's where I think we'll take our 5 for biological and technological needs. So if you're watching this live, please, if you've not yet done so, head over to Drive Through RPG and pick up the very game that we are playing. They came from the Cyclops' cave is now available in PDF and POD. It is amazing. It is my favorite RPG. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Go snatch yourself a copy. If you already have it, run over there and drop yourself a review or a rating on it. Tell the rest of the world how much you love it. If you're watching this, of course, on the VOD, just hit fast forward till you see our pretty faces, and we'll be back momentarily. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to twitch.tv/ the Onyx Path, where we have returned from addressing our biological and technological needs. Just before the break, our adventurers had been making their way around, asking some questions, gained some interesting information about what's been going on around the village. And they met Duncan, the head of the Tradesmen's Association, and a blacksmith who has invited them to a Tradesmen's Association meeting that evening at one of the local inns. The inn that you are going to be meeting at is called the Alicorn. The
I love it.
the meeting is to take place at, we'll say, 7 p.m. So about right around when it starts getting dark. You've prepared yourselves for the meeting. You've heard nothing yet back from Hilda. But you make your way to the
Leave her a
end.
note at the rat's nest. Yeah, we'll figure it out later. She's hard to
Yeah.
miss.
Yeah, we can pop back there in a little bit and see if she's gone back there.
And she did say
hope
that
she's
she
all
would
right.
track you if she needed to.
It's true. Well, she stayed alive this long without our help, so I'm sure it's fine.
That's true.
Let's go gather some information and also speak to people. Let's go talk to these fine people.
By the time you arrive, there's probably about 30 people in the inn. There's a bard on the stage playing their lute and singing a song. The crowd is pretty noisy, as people are having food and drink, and you see some people playing cards, and it's just seems to be a fairly upbeat environment. Are you
Surprisingly peppy.
are you going to mix with folks, or just kind of sit back in a corner and wait for the actual meeting to start, or what's your plan?
I think music is the one thing that makes it easier for Belladonna to like get involved and go. Everyone's moving to the same kind of beat. They've got a similar timing. She's going to mix in with people and dance a little.
Excellent. You get out there and start dancing, having a good time. You certainly notice you're drawing a lot of eyes, but not in a negative way. People just seem to be impressed with you rather than frightened.
Well, they
Or
should be. Confusing if they're not frightened, but they should be impressed.
that's fair. And what about for Alis? Is Alis going to join in that dancing, or is Alis going to be a bit more of a wallflower?
Well, certainly not joining in the dancing at first. But is probably gonna go get a drink at the bar. Maybe two with the intention of giving one to Bella when she needs a dance break. Um, so we'll just sort of two of whatever's good here, please, to drink.
They put up 2 mugs of ale and ask you for 2 silver, and
Right. She definitely has at least that on her.
yeah, you hand over the coins, and they're holding your mugs when Duncan comes walking in. Um,
Oh, Alice is drinking hers. She's
no,
not waiting.
excellent.
She's not waiting, but she has purchased a second one for Bella.
Beautiful. Duncan walks in and sort of seeing the two of you, he kind of beelines over to the bar where Alis is at and says, "Is it that bad of a night?" And kind of
Oh.
nods down to the 2 drinks.
No, I got this for Bella, but she's busy having a good time, and yeah, this is gonna settle. So I'll get her another one later here, and we'll just slide it over to him.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. He So I do get a little bit nervous about these meetings sometimes, and just downs the whole glass in kind of one big gulp. Sets
Well,
it
thanks
down.
for inviting us. It was I we appreciate the show of trust. We won't let you down.
Sure, absolutely. Do you mind if I share with the group kind of what you're looking into?
Um, do you yeah. I mean, look, I was gonna ask, do you trust them to, be discreet about it? But to be honest, we've been poking around all day. Someone's gotta know we're poking around already. So the more people who know what we're up to, maybe the better.
Right on. He gets up, sets the empty glass down, walks over uh, to the edge of the stage as the bard wraps up their current song. Uh, they kind of nod to Duncan and sort of collect their things and move off to the side. Duncan steps up on the stage and says, all right, everybody, bring it to order, bring it to order. And people are still sort of crowd wallering and being noisy and laughing and whatnot. And he shouts, "Hey!" And everybody kind of stops. He says, "Thanks. It's time to bring the meeting to order. So that means, put your cards away. Uh, pay attention. Eyes up here." Everybody kind of chuckles a little bit. He says, just wanted to call the meeting to order. We have, a lot of business to discuss tonight, but to sort of supersede all that, I and I'm sure some of you have been approached by these lovely adventurers who have been looking into some of the more disturbing things going on throughout the land. By now, I'm sure some of you have heard the rumors of impending, I guess, doom, for lack of a better word, of this force that is draining the life from our remote villages. Belladonna and Alis are looking into ways to track down the parties responsible and hopefully bring an end to this plague. And there's a round of applause bursts. I've invited them to our meeting to kind of see what we're about and to see what help we can offer. And one of them's like, I have the finest horses in the province. If you need horses, let me know. Another one's like, I can make shoes for those horses. Another one's like, yeah, I fed them earlier. They had some of my improbable meat. They're welcome. I can get some of that stuff together for you. Maybe even some seeds. Duncan kind of holds his hands up. It's great. I'm glad everybody's excited. One of them goes, I could dance with Bella. And people kind of crack up a little bit. Duncan's like, all right, settle down.
Gonna elbow A-list. Okay, this being praised thing is kind of neat.
Alis chuckles and is like, yeah, it's not bad.
So clearly, you all have access to our resources and whatever you may need from us. Is there something that you would like to communicate to the group? The floor is yours. If you want to come on up here, you're welcome to talk to everybody, ask any questions you need, or give them any information that you want to give them.
Is there anything you want to say, Bella?
To everybody. Oh,
you don't have to, but now's the time if you do.
Turn the music back on. I think I'm good.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, maybe we should thank them for their help. That seems like a good thing to say.
I can
appreciate their, what's the word? Kindness?
Generosity.
Generosity is a good word. We should probably do that.
Yeah, okay, I got
I'm
it.
sure that they know we're doing our best to keep them safe, but that we want to share information too in case we explode.
And she kind of puts her hands on both of Bella's upper arms and says, okay, but you could have said all that to them.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
Do you want me to?
No, it's fine.
Okay. And kind of like gives her a little push on the back up to the stage, and then kind of stands there like proud. Like,
So awkward. So awkward. Greetings, fine citizens. Thank you for your kindness and generosity with having us here. She's like really trying to figure out how to stand to not look like she's trying to loom ominously. She's trying to figure out how to stand casually. She's like, hands go out to be like, greetings, minions, but she's like, greetings, fine people. Thank you so much for assisting us in this. We're doing our best to keep everyone safe and put a stop to this cultist activity, and your help and information will be invaluable in that. So thank you.
They all a round of applause runs through the building, and they one of them shouts, "Thank you!" And they seem
No,
very
thank you, random citizen.
they seem very excited about it. Let's have both of you make a cunning and mysticism roll, please.
Uh
sure.
oh.
After depending on the depending on the results of this, Alis might also have something to say. Where did I put my dice? That's
I
not what
have
it is.
nothing
That's
on
to say.
8 dice. Nothing at all.
Not a one. Okay,
Not a one.
you're clearly distracted by all the positive attention.
Trying to socialize like a person.
You said this was mysticism and what?
And cunning. That does, however,
Cunning.
give you an extra re-rate since you failed. So.
Oh yeah, it's true. What are we at right now?
You're at 5.
Woo! 1 success.
Well,
Excellent. You get that hair on the back of your neck feeling again. And it feels like it sort of washes over you for a moment and then passes.
Takes a moment, steals herself, like has that little like shivers, like oh, and then takes a moment, steals herself, and like kind of goes up just as everyone's applauding Bella, and like links their arms. And when it starts to kind of go down, she's like, some of the things that Bella and I have seen on our journey so far have been scary, and some of the things that this does, it makes you feel hopeless. It makes you feel defeated. But I want to say now, while there's still life and fight here in this room, don't give up. You have to trust yourself, trust your own strength, and I guess trust us. Thank you for trusting us. We'll do our best to see this through and make it better, because for all the good and dark in the world, we can't have any of it if there's nothing. So
You hear a slow clap start behind you as you see the crowd start to like sort of like pause, and a couple of them like lean back in their chairs. They look kind of frightened a little bit.
Can I
behind
do
me.
something weird?
Yeah. As you, the slow clap is behind you. You asked to do something weird, and Alice, you start to look over.
Yeah.
You see it's Duncan that's clapping, but you also see that Duncan's eyes are completely blacked over, and there are like streaks of desaturated gray reaching out from his eyes. And you hear, "Most impressive." And though it is Duncan's voice, there is another voice present harmonizing with that voice. It is your mother, Belladonna.
Well, it's not like you told me how to do a speech that wasn't just demanding things.
I
What are
see
you doing here?
you haven't lost your edge. It's quaint. Please, everyone, don't get up. You see a couple of them like start to like get up, and like one of them like grabs for their sword. She says, "Please, everyone, don't get up." And she waves her hand, and the crowd are shoved down into their seats. I'm just stopping by to offer you a chance to abandon your silly quest, come home and enjoy the fruits of my labor.
Uh, I'm offering you a chance to sit down, have tea like responsible people, pause this world-ending crusade you're on right now, and get back to old times, not whatever this nonsense is.
It's funny.
I
Uh,
promise not to
you
put poison in it this time.
you think, oh, that's very kind and thoughtful of you. You think that this is some silly lark that I'm pursuing.
No, I think you're sad, Mom. I want to help if I can, but I don't know how to help you with this.
Come stand at my side. We have a world to conquer. We have a way to end all of this suffering, all of this pain, all of you. She points to the waves to the crowd. You spend your days breaking your back, sweating for pennies. What? Put enough food in your belly and enough shelter over your head that you can get up and do the same thing the next day. You
And so that
love,
their kids have something to eat.
yes,
And so that they can see the smile of their friends and family in the morning. And so
yes.
that there is a little bit of light still in the darkness that you're trying to snuff out.
And then those children grow up to be disappointments. And then
Mm-hmm.
those friends leave or die. Love fails, hearts break. All for what? Nothing.
It
It's
wouldn't
not
mean as
always
much
like
if there
that.
wasn't a risk to it.
Yeah, it's still worth something. All of these people deserve to do that, to fight, to smile and to cry. You can't make that decision for them.
And what joy is there in toying with someone who has no hope left?
Says I've abandoned any concept of joy.
Tell that. I think you're making a mistake.
Am I?
And I hope that we'll be able to stop you before it's too late. For your sake.
Well,
And the sake of everyone you needlessly hurt.
then you leave me little choice, and a ball of mystical energy starts to appear in Duncan's hand. At that moment, the doors to the inn swing open. You see Alita and two other of the council mages rushing into the inn. Would everybody like to roll initiative?
Uh-huh. Like I might be about to run though.
Aren't you glad I got you leggings?
Yeah. Okay, so it's the lowest of
Yes, it's the lowest of your dexterity and
and
empathy,
athletics.
or
Yeah.
cunning and athletics. Actually, wait, let me double check that because there's sometimes it might be different than they came from. No, yeah, but it's the lower of your athletics, cunning, or empathy, dexterity.
Oh, there's my success. For some reason, I have 3.
You're like,
Nothing
I'm
on either
ready.
is 3 on 4. What the heck?
Oh, I got another 10. I'm doing okay. I got 2 because I got a 10.
Excellent. So we have Alis is on it too. And what were you on, for Bella?
3.
Okay. Let me make a couple of rolls here right quick. Okay. All right. So Bella, you have the first action as this occurs. Um, what
Hmm.
would you like to do? You see Alita and two other um, robed mages come running in. Uh, you see Duncan sort of turn his attention in that direction. You can tell that the other people in the inn are like trying to look over there, but they're like held fast. Whatever spell your mother's cast on them, it's basically petrified them in place.
I think that might be the thing to try to do then is to dissipate that so that these people can flee if they need to.
All right, go ahead and give me a mysticism intellect roll.
Sure, sounds good. Do, 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 do.
Are you adding any quips or trademarks or anything to this?
Hmm. Actually, I totally do have a trademark that is "Go, I say, be gone." So I think yelling that at the audience makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense, yes. So you can
Yeah.
add 2 dice to your roll, and if you get 5 successes, you can take directorial control.
Well, I got 2.
Okay. That is not enough to take directorial control, but as you admonish them to go now, be gone, the paralytic effect ends, and they get up and start to rush out of the
I
way.
imagine she's doing like the dramatic, like hand on head. Oh no, it's painful pulling the spell apart kind of pose. I'm like, go, be gone towards the audience.
Excellent. They take off rushing. The mages that are on their way in clear the way so that they can attempt to leave. That brings us to Alis. What would you like to do?
Yeah, I think that uh so she doesn't want to hurt Duncan, and she hasn't figured out what Alita is doing yet. Like she's the ever the optimist. She's hoping Alita's bursting in here to stop Belladonna's mom. So I think she's gonna try and tackle like a football tackle Duncan to try and knock whatever concentration or whatever is going on here. Um and I will say in my lovely speech I was really cheeky and used a trademark and equip.
Okay, excellent. Uh,
Don't give up. You must trust yourself and trust your own strengths are separately a trademark and equip.
excellent. So let's go ahead and add 3 dice to your roll. And if you get 5 successes, you will be able to take directorial control. Go ahead and roll close combat and your choice of might or dexterity.
I will do might. 2, 3, 4. There we go. And let's see what we. No. Yes. Ooh, another 10. This specific die is rolling really well for me today. I don't know what time it is. Or I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Excellent. You leap forward to tackle Duncan to the ground. Uh, as you do, Duncan falls to the ground, and standing where Duncan was is now the disembodied uh, projection of Mother Blightwood, and she is completely desaturated. Her eyes completely covered in blackness, with black veins reaching out around her crow's feet and up into her forehead. Um, Wearing the same outfit that she used to wear, sort of a corset bodice type deal, thigh high boots, a cape, but it's all deeply, deeply desaturated. It's basically shades of gray at this point. You have freed Duncan. You have exposed Mother Blightwood, And what would you like to do with your directorial control now?
So what I'm seeing in this scene, perhaps, I'm still like, it's funny. I feel like I've been playing these games for a long time now, but as a player, it's always really kind of fun but scary when when the storyteller's like, "Here you go," and you're like, "Wait,
Yeah, yeah.
what if I mess it up?" So I think what's happening here is that sort of desaturation that was on Duncan, like um I think that A-list is like, hey, Duncan, you need to get up. You gotta go. You've got to wake up. Hey, and is kind of like trying to jolt him out of it before he starts to go kind of monochromatic as well.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that's what A-list is trying to achieve in this moment, is just like to get him up and either gone or fighting or whatever, but to get him fully saturated again.
Sure. You kind of shake him a couple times, and you're like, "Please, we need you present. We need. Don't give up. Don't be sad, Artek." And you see the color return to his cheeks, and he opens his eyes and says, "Thank you. That was terrifying." And
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, yeah, you didn't sign up for this. You lead your people out. Run, we'll handle them.
He starts to get up to do that very thing. Alita steps forward and starts waving her hands around. You see circles of energy appearing around both hands, and she says, "Be gone, demon!" and throws a blast of energy at your mother.
Oh.
All right. I would like both of you to roll empathy and cunning.
Okay. At least I have empathy.
At least I have cunning.
Anytime there's anytime there's any sort of intellect, cunning, well, she's got a lot of resolve, but anytime there's anything like that, I'm like, oh, okay.
I got 4.
I got, oh gosh, I
And an
am
8 and 9.
doing the tens today. That's exciting. I got 3.
Excellent. With 3 successes, you've known your sister your whole life, and you know when she's putting on the drama. Right now, she's putting on the drama. And with 4 successes, Bella, you can tell that she's putting on the drama, but she's also pulling her punch with this spell. This is a lot of flailing around and not a lot of magic being actually thrown. The blast absolutely hits your mother's projection, and she shouts, "This isn't finished!" and dissipates.
I think if anyone was watching A-list in that moment when she was like, "Be gone, demon," or whatever, there was like a, and then when the realization hits you, it was just like, and kind of shakes it off because there's still some people here, even though they're running out. Shakes off and just looks over to Belladonna to see what Belladonna's clocked.
Fully staring at your sister with like just this look.
Right on. Duncan hops up and says, "Everybody out! Come on, let's go. We should leave the magic to the mages." He like reaches across and grabs the barkeep and says, "You two, come on." And they run out, and as A-list and the others walk in. Bella, are you going to make a combat action as they're approaching, or are you?
No, but just very much looking quite judgmental.
All right. How about you, A-list? Are you doing anything combat-wise?
Nope. The bottom, the jaw is slightly forward and clenching their teeth, but they're even they recognize a little bit the value of maybe not trying to punch her own sister right now. So she's just sitting there like,
I don't know if Bella does. I'm not gonna throw the first punch.
She
there's fists clenched in pockets at the moment, I think.
Alita and the other two mages walk up and say, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine.
Thankfully, it's good that you were able to discern that that would happen. We certainly didn't expect it.
We noted a swell in magical activity here from the tower. I came to investigate. I'm only glad I arrived before something terrible happened.
Is there a roll that I can make to try and clock the integrity of these other two mages?
Sure, yeah. Give me another empathy cunning.
Again, at least I have empathy. Ooh. 1, 2, 3 successes.
Oh,
Excellent.
And on 4 dice, that's not bad.
You can tell their like hands are still at the ready for spellcasting gestures. They are breathing heavily. They are sweating. They ran in here primed for a fight, and they look like they believe that they are there to do what Alita says they are there to do.
That's a bit of relief to Alis, and we'll look to the both of them and yes.
Wow.
Could you
I have to
arrived.
say it. I've never been more impressed with the council. You're able to banish such a terror in my mother with such a simple spell.
Sometimes simple is all is needed to get the job done. Perhaps if you had stayed and finished your education, you would know that.
I think that she was. It's kind of like you can tell that this isn't manipulation. It's not Alis's strokes. It's just like, but she's like too compelled to interrupt, so she doesn't start thinking. I think that she was trying to send a message. I think that's why she was here.
And what message is that?
Well, she was trying to get Bella to abandon her quest to put a stop to this. So.
And also, I anticipate to taunt us, to make us feel sorrow that she's feeling, and to, I don't know, perhaps help to strengthen cover for anyone who needed it.
That's a shame. I will. Well, again, it is fortunate that she was sloppy and I was able to dispatch her. I don't think we'll be so lucky next time. I think myself and the other mages should go check on the laborers and ensure that none of them have any lasting damage.
Oh, well, it's so kind of you to show concern for these people, but we can take that problem from you. We're not doing anything important right now.
No, certainly nothing as important as your spell casting.
Well,
I'm sure you have important council business to attend to. Don't you have reports to write? Convincingly.
I do, as a matter of fact. Until we meet again, I wish you the best of luck. And the three of them turn on their heels and walk out.
I think as soon as like they're out the door and the door's closed, like Alis just sinks. Like if they were
so
sitting
sloppy.
on like they were sitting on like a little or standing on a little like podium where the bard had been, right? Well, not podium, but like little stage or whatever.
Yeah, a little riser.
Just kind of like sits and like dangles her legs over the side and just sighs.
I think for like a full 30 seconds, Belladonna's going to go off about how sloppy she is and like how unconvincing that magic even was, and that who does she think she's fooling? And then we'll finally like realize that you're like slumped and feeling emotions, and be like, right. I'm so sorry.
I mean, you're right, though. If even I could tell. I mean, she's my sister, so I guess I know her better than some, but
you have a small tendency to undersell yourself. I don't imagine
I've got my
anyone can tell.
strengths. got my strength, but usually it's not reading people. I mean, sometimes it's reading people. Reading my sister, that's never been too hard. I don't know what she's doing, but those other two people thought that they were here for good. That
Mm.
means there's hope, right?
You're right.
If they wanted to do good and they thought that they were doing good, then the
The
worrisome
rare,
aspect
the
of this is
rare
Alita.
opportunity for the wise council to do a good thing or a useful thing or a quick thing even. That's frankly impressive. Huh, that should have been suspicious in and of itself. They were here quickly.
Well, I I think that means there are people in the council that could be our allies.
I think you're right. And we
And
probably should make sure these nice people that are more than laborers ah, are doing okay.
we'll check in on them. I We'll check in on them and
Maybe
we'll
they
do
still
what we
have
can to
more of
protect them.
that ale here.
Why don't Bella? Why don't you make a Enigma's cunning roll real quick?
Sure. Do I think I got a +1 enhancement on this due to one of my tropes, which is dreams aren't like they used to be.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think that applies to this.
Yeah, if you'd like to use the trope for that, that's absolutely fine.
Dice rolling. I got 2.
All right. Uh, as you're getting ready, as you like step off the stage, the full gravity of something that you said kind of hits you. They did get there awfully damn fast.
Hmm.
Fast enough that you're fairly certain that Alita must have known this was coming.
Hmm.
So the whole thing was likely staged for your benefit.
Such a low production budget for such a useless piece of theater.
As you get outside the various.
I think Bella's gonna go behind the bar first.
Okay.
2 of them, and then go take care of the noble peasantry.
Aylis is kind of like leaning on the other side of the bar while Bella's behind the bar and just goes, I think the one thing I don't understand is who is she trying to convince?
Us,
Or the people?
imagine us.
Maybe. And if they get the populace on their side, well, anyway, that's why I said we
No,
could go
it
take care of
does
them.
perhaps speak to how tenuous their position may be if they feel they need to convince us that clearly no one on the council is involved at all, and actually the person we suspect might be involved is definitely fighting against the darkness that's looming ominously or whatever.
Yeah,
Then clearly we're on to something here. There's some vulnerability that they're trying to protect.
definitely. And I'm not going to say exactly that to the folks, but
No.
I think they deserve to know something, but maybe not everything yet. I don't want to make a mess of things. What are you doing behind the bar?
Pulls out bottles of alcohol. Drinks for later. Do you have your bag?
And he's like puts it on the and then like after they've packed it away, Alis is gonna like slip a probably not enough to it, but like a gold or something like under the counter.
So as to pay for them
I
instead
feel
of.
like
Yeah.
you will perhaps discover that there is already a gold under the counter.
And yeah, it probably goes to get and
Aw.
leaves the other gold anyway, but doesn't feel like they've shortchanged them now. It's like, all right.
Wonderful. Armed with your less ill-gotten than it may seem booze, you make your way out into the street where most of the folks are gathered around. You see that the majority don't seem to be at all upset, shaken up, bothered a whole lot. They're unnerved, but they're not injured, and they don't seem to be like distressed. If
Good.
that makes sense.
Mhm.
Clearly
Is Duncan
they're
there?
they're shook up, but they're not. Duncan is there, and in fact, Duncan is sort of sitting on the ground, and there are three or four of them sort of gathered around him.
Alis is gonna go up to Duncan and say, hey, would you be all right if I spoke to everyone really quick?
He nods, and you see he kind of looks up at you, but it looks like he's having a hard time finding your face. Um, One of the other ones says he got out here and just started acting really strange. We're afraid that some sickness may have taken him as a result of his possession.
But Bella, can you see if it's
I'll take a look. Sure. Do the fantasy equivalent of running a tricorder over him and try to get a sense of what's happening with him mystically.
Sure, go ahead and roll mysticism cunning.
Sure. 3. I've got an 8 and a 10.
Excellent. You discover that there seems to be a leftover sort of toxin, kind of a mystical residue left behind by the possession. Uh, Strikes you as another sign that your mother has lost control of her magics. This doesn't normally happen. This is something that happens when you, and
Oh.
this isn't even like a theatrical thing. This is like wasn't paying enough attention and or wasn't careful enough when seizing control of the person. The bad news is the poison is ultimately lethal. The good
Oh.
news is that it is slow and a cure does exist. However, someone's going to need to go and fetch that cure.
Okay. What is the cure?
It is bark from one of the trees in the swamp of sadness.
Oh, it's gonna look pretty sad. Um, there really is something wrong with my mother. She's getting sloppy.
is it something we can fix?
Yeah, we need to head back to the swamp.
Okay.
Um, quickly. I know a shortcut, but it's dangerous. I'd be hesitant to go alone.
I yeah, we'll leave. I can go with you, or we can find if we find Hilda. Just hey, just I was gonna kind of crouch down and like grab Duncan's hands. And this is really more flavor than anything, because hopefully we achieve this fetch quest. But is gonna kind of grab Duncan's hands and be like, hey, uh, just hang in there. We know what to do to help you, and you were really brave. And I'd like to use my trope as the prophecy foretold, which is once per session, a deity can lend aid.
Sure.
On.
And I think that I'm not like, I want to heal him. I just want to make sure that he is protected until we can return with the cure.
Sure. Absolutely. You take his hands and you feel a sense of calm kind of wash over you. Uh, an almost certainty that he will remain safe. But you also realize that and you can't quite put your finger on the nature or the origin of this sort of revelation, but you realize that in order to succeed, you're going to have to go alone.
And kind of grasps his hands. I feel like if this were animated, there'd be a little golden glow around that, and just, you'll be okay. I know you will, and you'll be safe while we're gone. And just kind of squeezes his hands and stands up and says, Bella, I'm going to talk to these people, but after that, I think I need to go get the bark, and I need you to trust me.
Uh, Of course.
Thanks.
Do
And
you want, are you going to walk there regularly or do you want to take a shortcut?
I'll take the shortcut. What kind of shortcut?
See, points of magic across the world are connected.
Oh,
This city and that swamp are points of magic. It's not exactly safe, though. It's not that far of a walk.
I'll
I'm
walk.
just worried about.
I'm worried about everything that's going on with the council and with your mother. It's better if I do it the old-fashioned way. But I'll be back.
Sounds good.
I'll
Think
be
you're making
back.
the right decision. I'll see you when you're back.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on things here.
Yeah. Keep these people safe if you can, but obviously you can't be responsible for a whole town. That's not fair.
I mean, you probably got it.
I think you do. See you soon.
Gonna go to give you like a really awkward hug before you go.
Oh, when that happens, like there's that really awkward moment of like you're like, and Alis is like, what is happening? And then Alis realizes you're hugging her and just wraps you in like the biggest, like
Ooh.
tight hug, and like probably picks you up a little bit.
We'll be very shocked.
Sets you down and says, I'm really proud of you, you know? With your mom. That can't have been easy.
No, it's really sad, actually.
We'll try and make it right. Right. Yeah, I've gotta I'm just gonna and kind of shuffles like see you soon.
All right.
Turns around to talk to kind of address everyone.
Sure.
That's okay. And just says, hey, sorry, just a second. Duncan needs healing, but he'll be all right. I'm going to go get what he needs. In the meantime, I need you all to take care of each other. I need you to stay strong. And I need you to remember that that wouldn't have happened if we didn't have them scared. If they didn't think it was possible for us to win, they wouldn't try. They wouldn't try to intimidate us. They wouldn't try to get us to back down. They'd just let us get on with it. So stay strong. You're all still here, which is amazing. But take care of each other. And Hilda Warrior Princess will be back anytime now. And Belladonna is here and isn't going anywhere. And I'll be right back with what Duncan needs to cure him. And thank you all for trusting us. And I'm sorry this happened.
One of the guys steps forward and produces his dagger and just holds it out to handle first and says, "It's dangerous to go alone. Take this."
Thanks. I will. I'll take good care of it and kind of tucks it. Doesn't have a spare sheath, but probably like tucks it in a little satchel.
All right. And you start making your way out of the town and toward the swamp, correct?
Yep.
Excellent. What is Bella going to do?
Probably ensure Alis makes it out of the city safely, but try not to be caught doing that. So
Okay.
sort of like subtly follow on the way out.
All right.
Then probably head back to the hotel and like sit for a little bit. Maybe do a little bit of meditation. Sort of try to rationalize and figure out her thoughts around what's happening here. I
Okay.
think seeing her mom this disorganized and sloppy and clearly hurting will do a bit of a number on her over time.
Sure. As you're kind of going through your meditations, your thoughts, your reflections, you kind of start running the incident back over in your mind. You note kind of every bit of your mom's projection, desperately looking over it for some sign of life, some sign of color. And it seems completely drained. To a degree that, like, you're familiar with her strength of will and her ability. Um, it seems like whatever this is has a much firmer grasp upon her than an outside force could establish.
Mm.
Like it really feels to you like if she's this embedded in this, if she's this connected to the empty, she must have made a choice to connect this deeply. This got to be deliberate, and
Makes
it
sense.
has to have been done of her free will, because if not, she would have there. You're almost positive there would be some sign of resistance of color holding on to her.
I guess I'm trying to think of what would drive her to that step, to feel that she's got no other choice but to burn everything down.
As you run through the possibilities, you find yourself completely stumped. What there's nothing springs to mind as being that dire, but you do get the sense that you're absolutely on the right track. This is the right question to be asking. If you can find that out, maybe you can find a way to reach her.
One can hope.
And that is what you reflect on. And as the camera slowly dissolves from Belladonna in the suite, meditating, to Alis walking through the night and stepping up to the very edge of the swamps of sadness, you can hear the moans and cries of the various trees. Is Alis going to say or do anything before walking into the swamp?
I think sort of it's more of that visual of stealing herself. She does the Saturday morning cartoon slash anime hero like and kind of, all right, let's do this. And she steps into the swamp of sadness.
Excellent. And as her feet cross the threshold in the distant sky above, thunder rolls, lightning strikes cloud to cloud. And that's where we'll wrap things up for this session. Any questions, comments, complaints, or concerns about today's session of They Came from the Cyclops' Cave?
One of my favorite ones so far.
Yeah, same. This is really fun.
Well, thank you both. I appreciate that. I had quite a bit of fun as well. So now we know where, since CJ won't be here next week, we know where Alis will be.
Yeah.
So
It's my partner's birthday. I
well,
hope you all have a lovely session.
extend.
I hope you have a lovely partner birthday.
Yeah, extend our many happy returns on that birthday, please. Did any of you achieve any of your aspirations today?
Me.
Maybe.
Yes,
I had a nice dinner.
you did have a nice
Um,
dinner.
Yeah.
You may absolutely absolutely consider that one accomplished. So go ahead and mark that one down as done.
And I'll need a sense check from you on this. My long-term goal at the moment is show Alita I'm a hero. I don't know. I mean,
Um, I mean, Alita is concerned, but at the moment, you're not her primary concern, if that makes sense.
I feel like if it were a short-term aspiration, I've showed her like a little bit, but as in the context of a long-term aspiration, I don't think I've proven that I'm a threat. You know what I mean?
Right. Like at this
Yeah.
point, it's more it's almost more like she thinks you are traveling with heroes.
Yeah, that's
You know what I
typical.
mean?
Just like my sister to underestimate me.
Yeah, she is much more. She's much more attributing the heroism to your traveling companions than you at the moment. So I would say
So
not quite yet.
remind me, if I achieve a short-term aspiration, is that an experience point, right?
Yep. So you each get one for showing up, and you got one
Woo!
for achieving your short term. Did you achieve short term belladonna?
Maybe she has like most of her aspirations are about like proving herself and becoming closer to the crew and admitting she doesn't actually want to betray them, etc. One of the short term ones was about protecting like these two, like Aylis and Hilda, from an outside threat.
I would say, yeah,
Yeah,
you're, if
at
nothing
least in how
else,
she conceptualized it too, like storming up to go yell at a sister is definitely one of those.
yeah,
That feels
absolutely.
accurate.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right. So you can go ahead and collect the experience from that, and you both get one additional experience because everybody got their short-term aspirations. So you should all be at 3 right now.
Sweet.
Um, I don't suppose that uh, neither of you got your long terms out of the way.
Nope.
None of you have completed a quest yet per se, but when you return, we will resolve your quest to go get this stuff. So
Hooray!
Well,
that will be in the mail. Um,
If I don't die.
you did not spend a whole lot of rewrites, so no XP from that, but you have reached a story milestone, so you can all have a point for that. So it should be 4 XP for each of you.
okay,
Yay.
awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Between now and next session, if you have the opportunity, please cook up new short-term aspirations to replace the ones that you have fulfilled.
Will do, will do.
And yeah, that's where we will put a pin on it for this session. So before we rush away, if you could, CJ, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you've been playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, and anything you would like to promote.
Yes. Hi everyone. I'm CJ. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me everywhere on CJ Story. Well, pretty much everywhere. I don't know. There's a few things I don't have, but it's been a pleasure to be here. And as a person or as a profession on a professional level, if you want to play a cool quick start where you are fighting malignancies that are based on toxic, they're originally based on toxic masculinity and they have a bit of like toxic traits in general, is what these entities that you fight are based on. It's set in a sort of Victorian-ish era. It's really kooky, like really creepy, really cool, and I am doing a lot of stuff for trailers for that for our upcoming crowdfunder, so I can't wait to share more. But for now, go to rrdgames.com/hollows if you would like to pick up the free quick start. And thanks for letting me chill. Thanks for having me here. And it's been a blast. I love these characters. I've been really looking forward to picking them back up again. So and thank
Likewise, and
you,
thank you.
chat. Thank you, chat. I don't need encouragement to be gay, but I will take it.
I mean, it's nice to be cheered along, right?
I like, yeah,
Yeah.
homos.
Well,
So thank you.
and I'm doing my best not to throw too much fuel on that fire. Like at one point when you were like, "Oh, we hug," I was gonna be like, "Are you gonna pull away real slowly and awkwardly?" Is there that like
I
pause,
mean,
like the
maybe.
while we're still in kiss range? Is there a pause?
This is the first one. Like I'm a big fan of slow burn, guys, but like
Mm, yeah.
chat. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong, chat. So, aw. But yes, thank you all. Thank you, Travis, for another lovely, lovely session.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you're here. Speaking of people, I'm glad that are here. Millie, if you could, please tell us all
Oh,
your
right. I'm a
pertinent
people.
details. You are a people.
Hi, I'm Millie and or Bunny Hearted, she, her, or they and them. This has been really lovely. Thank you so much for having me again. I've really been looking forward to getting back to this game. I've had a bit of a headache this whole time, but I have like this massive smile on my face. I have this weird in between where like I've got a bit of a headache and also my cheeks are smiling. And it's kind of fun. It's like an interesting little balance there. But no, I am I guess a goober retro VTuber. I do my best to build inclusive, cozy spaces and play a variety of indie games. And I love tabletop gaming as well. So you can find me on a couple of those channels, including here as often as I basically can be because I freaking love it over here.
Well, we love
I
having
guess
you.
right now, I should probably talk about. I'm on a quest right now. I've just started trying to convince Twitch to give me a cool check mark. So if you want to support me in getting like higher quality stream resolution and get my bot an infinite tier 3 sub and all of that stuff, hop on along to my partner push quest. It's going interestingly. It's going to be a journey. I think it'll take a couple of months even if we pull it off, but it's fun to try. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in that. I've thrown the link to your channel in the chat, and I would
Well, I
encourage
appreciate it.
anyone who might not already be over there to get over there, toot sweet, and get to following, get to subbing,
Aw.
because it is amazing fun times over at Bunny's channel. And thank you again as well for being here and for playing through the pain. I hope that your headache subsides.
Oh, very much so. It's feeling a lot better already. And like,
Good, I'm glad.
I mean, if I had to turn off the lights and play this game in the dark, I would have done it.
Well, I appreciate that. So once again, I'm Travis. My pronouns are he, they. When I'm not running games, I am writing them. I want to remind you one last time that They Came from the Cyclops' Cave is now available in POD and PDF over at DriveThruRPG. If you like what we're doing and you want to do it at your table, this is the book to pick up. And if you've already got a copy, then you should go say nice things about it on the internet. Otherwise, if you don't have a copy, pick one up for yourself, pick one up for your best friend, pick one up for your mortal enemy, and distribute them appropriately. Also want to make sure that you are aware that the other They Came From game that was released recently is They Came From Classified, which is also up in POD and PDF over at DriveThruRPG. And through some miracle that we cannot explain or describe, the product number for They Came From Classified ended in 007. So
Oh, wow.
it's
That's rad, actually.
it's kismet, yeah. So it's a sign that if you're watching this, you should go pick up They Came From Classified and run you a Bond inspired, part Bond, part Get Smart, and part Austin Powers inspired spy game.
It's so much fun. I think didn't we play it like last Onyx PathCon?
Yes, I believe
Oh,
so.
it was
Yeah.
so fun.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah, no, that was fun as heck.
Yeah, it is.
I got to play the really unimpressed like I was the Bond Deonto Jones, I think, is what was happening
Yes.
there.
Yeah.
That was a kind of a deep cut. Anybody like Torchwood? But pick it up. It's really good. Sorry,
I've
I'm
only seen a
also
couple
shilling
episodes
for
of
you
Torchwood.
guys.
One day.
I
One day.
appreciate you shilling for everyone. And
I'm just enthusiastic.
which is the best thing in the world to be. Speaking of enthusiasm, I'm looking to see who we can go and raid, but I would ask you that wherever we send you, that you show them some enthusiasm and love when we get into the chat. I think maybe we'll just go raid Fantasy Grounds. They're a nice, fun place doing nice, fun things. So stick around for the raid. If you've not yet done so and you're watching this on Twitch, please make sure you follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribed over there. Feel free to share the link to all your friends, get the word out about this stream. We will be back next week where it will be myself and Millie and MK will be back. And so we'll see what's going on with Hilda in her absence and when her and Bella hook back up. And then we will return to our normal biweekly schedule at that point. So thanks again, everybody. Please be sure that you're getting your shots, taking your meds, staying hydrated, staying out of trouble, and we'll see you again real soon. Bye.
Take care, y'all.